MMA Rants and Raves, Arlovski versus Overeem in the UFC's heavyweight division. Guys, let's talk about this fight. You know something, I want to make some really important points here. Arlovski was a guy who looked like he was long done. He had a massive decline after he fought Fedor, and he just started to climb back. He was fighting lower level competition, and his most impressive fight before he came back to the UFC was against Anthony Johnson, ironically, who's also had a phenomenal comeback in the UFC, considering where he was from. So that fight was a great fight for both guys. It was a close fight, of course, and you see Arlovski coming in. He has been undefeated until he ran into Stipe Miocic, and it was a devastating loss. Early knockout. Now the question is, can Arlovski come back from this? We've seen it before. After the fight against Fedor, it was a terrible, devastating loss for him. And he has not been able to recover until he started to fight his way back up, came back to the UFC, and has looked incredible until he fought Stipe Miocic. Now, will he be able to come back from this? Because he's proven he can take a shot. You can see when he fought Travis Brown. Travis Brown hit him hard. Travis Brown is a monstrously big, powerful heavyweight. And Arlovski was able to absorb his shots and then dish out some of his own. And he was able to win that fight by a knockout. So the question is, can he come back again from this? Is it going to be psychological? Is this going to be a decline for him? That's the question. Now, on the other hand, if you look at Overeem, it's the extreme opposite. Overeem's coming off a win, not just his biggest win in the UFC. I think it's his most impressive win in his MMA career. I mean, this is Junior Dos Santos we're talking about. We've seen how tough he is and what he's done. I mean, to put a guy like that away by knockout in the second round, that's never been done before. Junior lost in the fifth round by knockout, but it looked like his head hit the canvas. It was already the fifth round. Both guys were very tired. This was a decisive win for Overeem. It was a knockout. And the thing about Overeem, he's had a very impressive UFC run. I mean, he had some setbacks, but he was able to come back. He lost some fights, came back, was able to win. He had some devastating losses against Ben Rothwell and against Bigfoot, but he was able to come back. That's the thing about him. He's able to take his losses, he comes back, fights another day, and then looks great. And what's the results? He has, since he's come into the UFC, his wins include 3 wins against 3 former UFC champions. Okay? And it also includes a win against a former Ultimate Fighter winner in Roy Nelson. We know how good Roy Nelson is. So Overeem is the real deal. I mean, he's looked very good. And keep in mind, you know, he's a different type of Overeem. He's not this big, muscled up Overeem. He's smaller now, but he's still effective. So if you look at this fight, and that's the thing, usually they put 2 fighters together on a momentum streak, but this is the heavyweight division. It's a short list. So despite Arlovski's setback, he's still a top guy. I mean, he faced Stipe Miocic. That's a very tough guy. We've seen what he's been doing lately. As far as the fight, I just have to go with momentum here. I mean, Arlovski had a devastating loss. Like I said, the last time this happened, he went into a steep decline. And there's too many question marks. Will this affect him psychologically? The last time he suffered a loss like this, his career went into a tailspin. Will he be able to come back, or will he go on a decline? As far as Overeem, there's not many question marks with him, because even when he loses, he's able to come back. We've seen it. And now he's coming off, like I said, in my opinion, the biggest win of his MMA career. So I'm going to go with a prediction in this fight. I got Overeem to win this fight. I would like to know what you think about the fight. Please leave your comments. Please subscribe. Please like up this video. And thank you for tuning in.